All right, guys, welcome to the weekly altcoin review. So let's go into the usual coins that we look at. Let's start with Bitcoin dominance first, see what's going on there, because that leads the market. So we're going to start from the weekly chart. This is looking very bullish, which means I think we'll close green. Likelihood scenario is we'll go up higher first. So that's Bitcoin dominance is going to go higher first. It will go higher first. And who knows whether we're going to ride this KC channel like we did here as well for a few more weeks. Who knows? We'll have to wait to see. It could also be that we get a long one like this, where it keeps going, and then it collapses. So, but definitely it's going higher. If you step it back to the daily, you can see that we are clearly outside the KC. So we closed outside, we've gone higher. And we'll see how this week closes, but the day closes, but the volume is strong. So I think we potentially go, maybe slightly higher again before, if there will be a collapse, we collapse back to the downside, similar to how all these are played out. So you can see here, we go outside, we go higher, then we pull back in. So I expect that maybe we might go up slightly first before we kind of pull back in. So the altcoins may struggle a little bit before they actually, get the energy to actually go up. So with that out of the way, let's move on to some of the coins. Let's look at the first coin I want to look at is TIER. I want to look at TIER from the BTC chart. So on the weekly chart, you can see it's not looking good. We've closed very red, and we are way outside the KC channel. So there potentially is an opportunity for this to come back into the band before even if you're going to go down some more, there's a very high likelihood that this comes back into the channel. So because it's way outside it. So I think on close, we may go down slightly a little bit. So something like, I don't think we've got any of these that I can use because TIER has just literally had this on the TIER BTC chart. So I think we've gone way outside, and the chances are that we might come back in maybe after a small move to the downside. If we bring it back to the actual TIER chart itself, so we've gone outside the KC channel on the weekly chart. Yeah. So, and no, this is the Bollinger Band, and we're way outside the Bollinger Band. So again, chances are, you may go slightly lower and then reverse back up. So maybe we touch the 122, maybe the 115, I think between 105, I would say 105, between 105. Let's move this right here. So between the 105 and this point somewhere there. Wow, okay, let's just draw the interest box. So here, I think price comes into here, and then we go racing back up again. So that's what I'll be looking for on TIER. So weekly close red, go down slightly, continue, and then jump back up will be what I expect. Let's move on to the next one, which is render. So let's have a quick look at render. So render as well, we are closing red, and very likely we'll close red. This is our interest box. So we've come back into our interest box. I think we'll go lower slightly, maybe double bottom somewhere here around 254, or we'll go slightly lower. So this will close red, then we go slightly lower, and then off again, and then maybe reverse back up. So that's what, again, I'll be expecting on render. So a bit more downside. It's come already into the box, but I think that it will come deeper into that box. So we'll leave that there. And then let's move on to the next one, which is DOT. So Polkadot is also come back into our area of interest, filled all the box. I think we'll go down slightly lower on Polkadot. I think we will go lower. So this box has done its job. Let's move this box and I'll move it slightly downwards here. I think, even if we go low, I won't be by much. I'd expect us to, stay in this box somehow, and then start the journey to the upside, would be what I expect. Let me make these, unwind these. So that will give us a divergence on the weekly chart. Yeah, so that's that one. Let's move on to, we've done render. Injective, it's another one that we are following as well. So injective, quickly have a look. Injective is coming to our area of interest. That line has been hit. Let's see if I've got another one. I think I may have another one with a box. Let's see whether we have another one with a box. Yeah, we did have this one. So there seems to be a box on this. So we had a box here, which has been filled. And what we're going to do is we're going to move this box to here, because I think, there's liquidity sitting down here. And that's where I think it could get really messy. So we'll move our box to that side. And here, move it outside. So I think, yeah, it could come into this box before we go. So that's injective. Let's look at Maker. Maker was looking really good last week. We have a full engulf. So, I think, let's see, go here. I think we had a box. So our first box to the upside, that's been filled. And I think, look, we're unlikely to get support here. So I think this box then becomes a possibility. I think so. We'll move this slightly down to this side. I think somewhere there we'll get there before any movement to the upside continues. And then we've done render, and then say it was really looking very bullish. Unfortunately, it was looking really, really bullish, but I think this week is still going to close green. So it might be one of the strongest looking coins on the chart. So, I will put an interest box somewhere here into the liquidity sitting at the bottom here as the initial area. Some of that liquidity will be taken, and then you can potentially go if everything recovers. So I think we've covered all the altcoins that I follow on here. Hype. So hype is not looking too great. I mean, this is a pretty bad selling candle. However, with all these selling candles, it go lower slightly. So it's not coming to the interest box. It's on its way. So I'll leave that box there. It will come there, and then hopefully, if there is buying strength from here, you might end up like going back up again. Let's move on and look at some of the other altcoins. AAVE, we haven't looked at AAVE yet. So AAVE, yeah, we had our interest box, which has been filled on AAVE as well. So AAVE, our interest box has been filled. I think AAVE continues to come down towards here into this box. I think we come and revisit this point here, which is the here. We revisit this one somewhere there. I think it will land somewhere there and hopefully get some support. Otherwise, you'll be coming down to the zone here, which is around the 130. But this place could potentially provide initial support for a move up if Bitcoin, of course, is going to go up, which I think Bitcoin will probably potentially go up after tomorrow's dump. There's a potential bounce to about the 102 mark, 103 mark anyway. So that's AAVE. Let's look at some MEMECOINS and look at GOAT quickly. So GOAT, it came into our interest box. Our interest box has been filled. So I'm going to move that interest box down a bit more because I think there's more downside. So we would expect us to fall into this box here on GOAT, yeah. And then move on to Mooding. So Mooding as well, coming to our box that we drew last week. We'll move it down here. I think there's more downside beneath this candle here. So, I think this box will be filled before anything happens. Let's move on to Peanut. So Peanut as well has hit our box, I think. It's hit our box, but there's more downside. It's not completed the box yet, so I'll expect more downside on peanut. The Pepe. Let's have a look at Pepe. Did Pepe come into our box? Where's our box? Where's our box? Okay, it's probably on the other chart anyway. So let's go back here and look for Pepe and OP. Oh, I think we may have lost it. So anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's do it again. Pepe. So Pepe, I think Pepe comes down some more. There was liquidity sitting here, which I think will be taken. But I think there is more pain, unfortunately, and I think we may end up coming down to this zone on Pepe before we go up. So that's that. Bonk. So Bonk, not looking great. It's coming to the interest box. I would say we come all the way down here, which is 9.8, that zone here, which is 982, somewhere there. We will hit this area before anything happens. So that's what I'm looking for. And then we've got Trump. So Trump is, I think, is already coming to our interest box. I think Trump is already coming to our interest box. So we'll move our interest box accordingly. It's done its job. To here, which would be where the liquidity is sitting. So that will be initial step for Trump. Let's move on to Fatcoin. Fatcoin is coming to our interest box. We had a short on this one. So it's coming, and I think this thing will go lower. I think we are looking at, potentially this sort of area. Yeah, this area I think will be visited again. Ultimately, I mean, there's liquidity sitting here, which can be taken. So if it gets bad, then that's where you would find yourself. So I think, yeah, this area is fine. I think it'll go lower, way lower. But there might be a move back up to test these ups here around the 9495 zone. And let's move on to Wave. Wave is coming to our box of interest. And now we need to see where the next liquidity is sitting. I mean, there's still opportunity in the box, but I think it will go way lower. So we will move this to down here, and that's where we think it will come to. So more downside here too. XPX, let's look at XPX. This is going to go lower than this. So, we'll move our box to somewhere there. That's where we expect price to come to because of this interest candle. We could bounce slightly up first, so be mindful of that. We could bounce all the way up here to about 121, even before we collapse to the downside again. There's no divergence any way, shape, or form. So, there's more downside there. And I'll look at the last one, which is Moonpig. Moonpig, I think Moonpig, it's a disaster. Pump and dump. So, I think we'll get back into this box. Let's move this. We will touch the KC channel. So that's where we expect it to be. That's all I want to look at for altcoins for this week. And look, there's more downside on most of the altcoins. Bitcoin dominance is likely to go higher. So whatever close we get this week, the coins are going to go lower again before we start to find an opportunity for a bounce. So I wouldn't be going long. So that's what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing, and we're sharing it. Take it with a pinch of salt. It's not financial advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own research. Take responsibility for your own trade. And I wish you all the best, and we'll catch up next week.